Hello everyone, Josh will build here, and today we'll be answering the question, what are the ugliest blocks in Minecraft, and how can we actually use them? The diamond may be the rarest block in the game, however, if you really look at it, this texture is absolutely hideous. And it's hard to even think of a single way to use this in any build. Mangrove roots are also a really ugly block, partially just because they've got this weird transparent texture which makes them really challenging to use. Ancient debris. Do I really need to say anything else? I mean, just look at this block. It's absolutely hideous. Now, I need you to be honest with me. Have you ever seen anyone that has ever used red nether brick or nether brick in a build that's not in the nether? Then there's netherrack, which is a block that I think the best way to describe how it looks is it just looks like a big chunk of meat. Do you want to build your Minecraft house out of meat? A block with a dumb name that's incredibly hard to get. You can't even get it until the late game, and then it looks like a personification of the Candyland game? Come on, Minecraft. Yes. Magenta glazed terracotta. I mean, unless you're telling someone where to go, I don't think there's any reason to use this block. Now, are you even sure that this is sponge? Cause it kinda just looks like vomit. Now granted, it's also another block that gets a lot of hate, but let me let you in on a little secret. I actually kinda like granite. Oh man, who let their giant bird take a dump in my yard? Look at all this bird poop. Man, diorite is an ugly block. Then last, and certainly least, endstone, which just looks like if you made an uglier version of sandstone. And now that we've discussed all 10 of these very ugly blocks, I'm gonna see if I can find some actually useful ways to use these in your builds. So for diamond, one of the tricks is that it just has to be used very sparingly, and I think that's partially due to this ugly little border that they've put around each block. But I think if you embed it in walls like this, it could be used as a really nice bright blue highlight, and this could be a fancy jewel encrusted wall for like a palace or something. Now as for mangrove roots, since they have this semi-transparent texture, I think they can be used really well as like a sort of dead leaf block, because let's be real, have you ever seen any tree that's completely green? I think this adds a nice little bit of naturalism to this tree. Now, while this idea isn't exactly as viable in survival mode, I do think the ancient debris has this kind of cool texture that looks like stone on the side, which means it could make a really cool castle wall. Like, I think that looks really neat because there's not too many blocks that have that color or texture. If you mix in a little soul sand too, it makes it have a little bit of variation. I think that looks really neat. Now, I'm not usually the biggest fan of red nether brick and nether brick. However, it does make a pretty cool little roof tile design. I'm a big fan of that. I think I actually like that quite a lot. Now this one was kind of a challenging one to figure out, but with the sponge, if you mix it in with some yellow wool, it can kind of give a weathered sunshade sort of look, and I think that works pretty well. It blends really nicely with this yellow wool, adds a little bit of texture and dimension. Kind of looks like it's old and maybe a little moldy, which can happen when you put things outside. Granite can be a cool block. If you're not using it, you're just scared. And that's the facts. I mean, seriously, just mix it with some brick, some light gray terracotta and mushroom blocks, and it just has a really nice, cool, like red stone look. Okay, so I know a lot of people say diorite just looks like bird poop. However, go ahead and mix it in with some polished diorite, some birchwood, and some calcite, and it gives it a really nice, like, weathered white stone effect, and I think this looks pretty neat. Use Endstone to add some interest to your sandstone walls. Okay, so I know that earlier I was joking about how netherrack kinda just looks like meat. However, if they give you something in the game, you gotta use it. So here I've hung some chains from the ceiling, used some nether quartz and netherrack, and this is supposed to like simulate having hung meat in a dry aging room, which is how they used to preserve meat. And I think the little bit of quartz sticking through looks like you've got some bone coming out of the meat. So yeah, it's a meat block. Use it like a meat block. Okay now, so for magenta glazed terracotta, this one actually has one really cool use. So let me show y'all that one real quick. And yeah, that's the use. Throw it in lava and get rid of it, or just never make it in the first place. If you liked the video, go ahead and leave it a like and subscribe. Please comment below, what is your least favorite block in the game? So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.